Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rosmalia Fiani. I'm from class MJ2A. Today, I will talk about journal analysis on influence of human resource development. The title of the journal is Influence of Human Resource Development, HRD, Practices on the Hotel Industry Performance, the Role of Employee Competencies, by Frainana Kweku of the Department of Accounting, Korori 2 Technical University, Korori 2 Ghana, and Miridula Misha Department of Human Resource Management, Faculty of Business and Play Art, Roughly Professional University, Praguara, India. The abstract purpose. The purpose of this paper is the examine the mediating role of employee competencies in the association between human resource development, HRD practices, and organization performance. Design or methodology or approach. An integrated resource model was developed by combining principal factors from existing literature. Data were collected touch questionnaire from 600 of the selected hotel. The validity of the model and hypothesis was tested using structural questioning modeling. The reliability and validity of the dimension are established touch confirmatory factor analysis. Finding. The result indicate that some HRD practices impact organizational performance, touch their influence on employee competencies. The study further revealed that employee competencies mediate the association between HRD practices and organizational performance. Research limitation or implication. The research was undertaken in the hotel industry, and the analysis based on cross-sectional data which cannot be generally across a broader range of sectors. Practical implication. The findings of the study have the potential to help stakeholder management of the hotel in adopting properly and well-articulated HRD practices to simulate positive behavior in individuals and impact their knowledge, skill, and attitude. Original or value. This study extends the literature by adducing evidence that employee competencies mediate the association between HRD practices and organizational performance of the hotel industry in the Gaza. Originality or value. The study extends the literature by adducing evidence that employee competencies mediate the association between HRD practices and organizational performance of the hotel industry in Gaza. The background of the journal. Human Resource Development (HRD) intend to work at enhancing a diversity of competence to work and promotion a vigorous work philosophy in the organization to harness the competencies of employees and inordinately enhance organization effectiveness. Rio 19 and 1997. HRD has progressively developed important, considering the fact that the conventional management support system that there existed only two essential assets, money and time, is absolutely not legitimate given that knowledge how development into an unfailingly empowered resource. Delahaye 23, Stacey 23. These resources take on special relevance then dealing with labor-intensive service industry, especially the hospitality industry, where the accomplishment of the business is contingent predominantly on the success of the synergy among the schools and the employee. First et al. 2011. Establishing a competitive agree via people necessitates consensus touch to process that perfectly influence test results. HRD practices are more essential than policy. They are program plan and put into action in enhance employee competences for employee to function efficiently and attain performance expectations. Clarity 28, Nestlé and Estron 2011. The hospitality industry encompasses different activities and purposes, including lodging, catering, and other establishment based hotel. However, Dittmer 2002 agree that the hotel industry represents a key segment of the hospitality industry. Several other authors in 29, Local 27, 2028 deliberated that the hotel industry in a people industry. The further indicated the that employees and co-created as a focal point of the hotel industry for the reason that they may possibly develop a dizzying image for prom and crowd service, outline the perfect vocation reality, posited that competition are the underlying characteristics of the person that could be a motivation that and skill aspect of one's self-image or social role and a body of knowledge which her or she user. Literature review and hypothesis development. A. Human resource development practices. Werner and Simon 2006 practices that HRD practices are programs which are designed to be strategically oriented to organizational process for magazine to development of human resource to contribute to the overall success of the organization. B. Employee competencies. Competency is an important concept in organization management as it is closely related to excellent work performance. Levinson et al. 2006. Similarly, Draganitis and Mathis 2006 concur with this definition when they referred to competency as a combination of tacit and explicit knowledge, behavior, and skill that gives someone the potential for effectiveness and task performance. Herriger and Skolum 2011 identified employees' ethical competency, self-competency, diversity competency, cross-country competency, team competency, and chain competency as the 7 key competencies that affects the behavior of individual, team effectiveness of an organization. Accordingly, for following competencies are examined: self-competency, team competency, chain competency, communication competency, and ethical competency. C. Organizational performance. What measures were used in the study? Based on the literature, the following measures were used in the study: financial account, HR account, organizational account, and capital market account. C. Organizational performance. What measures were used in the study? Based on the literature, the following measures were used in the study: financial outcome, HR outcome, organization outcome, and capital market outcome. D. Human resource development contribution to organizational performance. 5 important approaches in examining the HRD organizational performance and effective linkage: best fit model, best fit approach, best practice model, combination of best fit approach and best practice model and stakeholder protection based approach. A. Human resource development practices and employee competency. Heslinde 2009 postulated that HRD practices improve employee capabilities on the job, productivity, and efficiency, as well as attention to quality of goods and services. F. Training and development of employee competencies. The significance of training and development in the attainment of employee competency and organization development has been emphasized in several authors. Chen et al. 2011. G. Career development and employee competencies. Grell et al. 2009 argued that career development intervention assists in building a partnership between the organization and its employee, enriching their knowledge, skill, and abilities by improving individual competencies. H. Performance appraisal and employee competencies. Mentioned in period 2006 deliberate that maximizing performance of human resource contribute an essential improvement of brain and managers how their human capital to being managed. E. Employee competency and organizational performance. Milosevic et al. 2007 assert that employee competencies are an assembly of expansive proficiencies and personal qualities as well as experience. Discussion. Imperial result. This study revealed important empirical results that make a significant contribution to clarifying the question of the influence of HRD practices on organizational performance by means of employee competencies. Results confirm HI by showing that training and development has a significant influence of employee competency. Results of H2 indicate that performance appraisal does not make any significant influence of employee competencies. H3 confirms the significant influence of career development on employee competencies. A result of H4 indicate the employee competencies have a significant influence on organizational performance. Theoretical implication. Previous empirical and theoretical study on HRD and organizational performance linkage, focus, and strategy and design, whereas this current study focus on employees. This study contributes to the scarce number of previous studies that have focused on the important function of employee competency in the HRD and organizational performance linkage literature in the hotel industry. The finding of this study emphasizes the relevance of employee competencies as a valuable resource in the extending the influence of HRD practice on hotel industry performance. Consequently, this current study finding has not been previously established explicitly in literature. Distinctively, this current study extends the literature by adducing evidence empirically that employee competency Medical, the association between HRD practices and organizational performance of the hotel industry in Ghana. Managerial implication. The results of this study led to the consideration of the series of implications for the hotel industry. It is commended for policy makers, stakeholders, and management of hotels to ensure the adoption of properly and well-articulated HRD practices in the hotel industry. Limitation and suggestion for future study. There contain limitations that offer important avenues for future research. Data were collected using a cross-sectional research design. However, the adoption of a longitudinal research design would have assisted in testing the causal relationship among variables. Moreover, quantitative research design was used in analyze data collected through structural questionnaires. A profound qualitative data are encouraged in future study. The adoption to both qualitative and quantitative approach which have provided a more in-depth as well as valuable clarification. Furthermore, the data used in this study are intensively subject upon opinion of employers. Adoption of subjective measures in account rather in future study. This area could be improved by receiving feedback from multiple sources and validating the responses to identify personal biases from individual respondents. Another limitation is the generalizability of the study. The results of this study cannot be generalized because they come from a sample of hotels in a specific context. We should also be careful when applying the results obtained to other sectors given the specific characteristics of the hotel industry. The mitigating role of other variables such apply performance was not analyzed. Also, the possibility mediating role of employee performance on the association between HRD practices and organizational performance was not analyzed in view of the outlined limitation. Further studies could investigate how employee performance mediates the association between HRD practices and organizational performance. Future research and encountered in examine the possibility mediating effect of employee performance on organizational performance using distinct HRD practices.